All right, so we're going to dive into chapter 15. This is the musculoskeletal system. And in this chapter, again, we're going to go through the location of the reflexes, the musculoskeletal system, and the conditions of the musculoskeletal system. So this system is a lot bigger because it is our whole skeleton. Okay. And it starts with the neck. If you look on page 15.6, you're going to see the neck, and it is right underneath this big toe, right underneath the big toe. The neck and shoulder, it goes right from zone 1, right underneath the big toe, all the way over to the most lateral edge underneath the baby toe, and that's going to be on both sides. The shoulder is the tiny pad underneath the baby toes. Your shoulder or axilla, aka armpit, is right where the diaphragm meets the shoulder at the very edge of zone 5. And again, that's going to be on both sides. The arm and the leg are all along the lateral edge of the foot on both sides. So the left is for the left side, right is for the right side. When you get into the jaw, it looks like a hockey stick, and the hockey stick starts in zone 1 of the big toe. It's on the dorsal side of the foot, and it goes down zone 4. So you go across and then down. Now the knee, thigh, hip, it's the triangle on the dorsal side of the foot. Hip, lower back, it looks like a crescent moon right along the ankles. And the ribs are in the chest area of the foot, so right in here. And you can see the zones on this version of the foot. Pelvis is going to be everything below the pelvic line of the foot. And then the spine. Now the spine is divided into 5 parts. So the cervical is going to start just about where the mouth reflex is, and it's going to go down to mid, I call it the mid bunion, right? You're going to be going down. And then from here to the waistline is going to be your thoracic vertebrae. From the waistline to about the pelvic line, it's going to be right in here to about right here is going to be the lumbar. And then you're going to have the sacrum and the coccyx. Now, when we get into working with the feet, when it comes to the spine, no 2 spines are equal, right? So it goes, you're going to have to find the bone in the foot. Now, if somebody's got a really high arch, the spine might come up and come down like this. I don't know, because you have to feel for the vertebrae reflexes in the feet. Somebody that has a flat foot, you're going to notice that the spine is probably going to be lower in the foot. It's really interesting if you have somebody that has some sort of spine disorder like scoliosis. When you start to feel for that bone in the foot, you can actually tell where the curve in the spine is, because you can feel it in the feet. So again, there's 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, the sacrum, and the coccyx. And if you look on page 16.6, you're going to see what vertebrae is associated with what. You can also look on page 15.7, and it shows you how the spine is broken down in the body. So again, it's 7 cervical vertebrae, not to get confused with the nerves, right? Thoracic is 1 to 12, lumbar is 1 to 5, sacrum is 1, but it's fused, and coccyx, which is another multiple vertebrae fused. On page 15.8, I want you to highlight joints or articulations. On page 15.9, I want you to highlight muscles. On page 1510, I want you to highlight the spine or the vertebrae column. And so now, if you go to page 1511, that is all of the conditions. Hold on. Okay, so on page 1511, we've got all of the conditions of the musculoskeletal system. And that can be back pain, bone cancer, bunions, bursitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, concussion, contracture, fibromyalgia, fractures, hammer toe, headaches, head injuries, herniated disc, hiccup, joint dislocation, joint conditions, muscle spasms or cramps, muscle sprains, strains and tears, muscular dystrophies, osteoarthritis or degenerative joint disease, osteomyelitis, osteoporosis, Pegget's disease, plantar fasciitis, rheumatoid arthritis, skull fractures, spinal injuries, sport injuries, tendinitis, wry neck, or whiplash. So if you have got one thing that I did want to show is if somebody has whiplash, in reflexology, we have one, we have one point here. You should be able to see it on your charts. It's called the whiplash point. So if somebody's got whiplash, it's this spot right here that you're going to hook into on the foot. Now, if you have got any of those conditions, what you're going to do is you're going to mark them on your treatment plan, the same reflexes as you can see on page 1515.